Greetings, YouTube! The Doctor is in. Dr. Urius Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And we are going to our next class. This is 3 out of 6 of the subclasses of the Pugilist class, which is a new base class that we got out of the Pugilist kind of handbook. There's a bunch of new stuff in it, bunch of new magic items, new weapons, new items. There's some new creatures in it, and there are these subclasses. So the next one is the Piss and Vinegar subclass, which says throw barbs and hands. This is kind of the heel, the rowdy Piper of the Pugilist class. This is a class I think that you're going to need to have a pretty high charisma with. So charisma is not necessarily going to be your dump stat with this. This one is not my favorite. It has a lot of flavor. There is some wording in here that I think should be rewritten because it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we're going to go through it anyway. So at level 3, you are going to get your bad attitude and salty salute. Now, one of the things that I don't like about this class is that this has a lot of options of using your bonus action to do things that are not combat oriented. And so you have to make a choice. And this class is going to be bonus action starved because of that. There are a lot of pugilist abilities that involve extra attacks or protecting yourself that utilize the bonus action. And if you use those, you're not going to be able to do these things in the Piss and Vinegar Pugilist, or if you use these things from this subclass, you are not going to be able to use them for your regular Pugilist. So that is the thing. So, okay, I digress. So we've got level 3 bad attitude, which is you gain proficiency intimidation. So if you're going to go with this, then you shouldn't take proficiency and intimidation later on because you don't get anything extra if you get it twice. You don't get expertise or anything like that, so you might as well just pick some other skill. And then additionally, you gain a bonus to checks using this skill equal to your strength modifier, and pugilists are constitution and strength classes, so you should have a pretty high strength score to begin with. And like I said, you probably want to have a decent charisma, like a +2 at least. And so you could really do some damage with intimidation. And I encourage everybody to go back and look at all of those kind of diplomacy, persuasion type of social interactions and the rules behind them. Secondly, we get salty salute. So and this is one of these. So as a bonus action, remember, if you do salty salute as a bonus action, then you are not going to be doing your bonus action unarmed strikes that you could normally get. So as a bonus action, you provoke a creature within 60 feet that can see or hear you. It's got to make a wisdom save. We like that. It takes psychic damage equal to the roll of your fisticuffs plus your constitution modifier. That's going to be okay. It's probably going to be less than 10 damage or around about there at 10 damage. And then they have disadvantage on any attack roll it makes against creatures other than you until the start of the next turn. So think of the Piss and Vinegar Pugilist as kind of the Agro class. I would think that this particular character would need to have quite a bit invested in their armor class to be able to do some of this stuff. So opponents are going to have, if you use this, opponents are going to have a choice. They either attack you with a regular attack roll or they attack everything else at disadvantage. So guess what they're going after? The easier one to hit. And you're goading them into attacking you as the heel, as the rowdy Piper. So they are going to come after you, and that is just a thing. But you can do this over and over and over again. There's no limit to the number of times you can do this. These are the two things that this class gets at 3rd level. I think this is a little weak. It's not as good as a lot of the other subclasses like the Dog and Hound or the Hand of Dread that we've already gone over. We haven't done Street Saint, Squared Circle, or Sweet Science yet, but we're going to get to those. But I think these are a little weak in my opinion. Then at level 6, and this is where the kind of awkward wording comes in. If I look at the level 6 dirty tricks and I compare the wording in that to level 7 dirtier tricks, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm going to read this and I'm going to give you my interpretation of what I think it is. You have a few tricks up your sleeve to even the odds when the going gets tough. So it says you have a few tricks. Next sentence, you can use one of the following dirty tricks, period. I don't know if they meant to say that. Now, if I go down to dirtier tricks, it says you gain the following additional dirty tricks. These are, you gain all of them, not just one of them. Now, it says here, you can use one of the following dirty tricks, period. You can use one dirty trick each turn. And once you use a dirty trick, you can't use that trick again until you finish a short or a long rest. If we believe this sentence here, you only get to choose one of these at 6th level. And once you use it, you don't get to use it again until you finish a short rest. That doesn't make any sense. And the fact that we've got this sentence right after it, you can use one dirty trick each turn, also tells me I think I'm getting all of these. Now, I'm not just getting one. It's very confusing. I think this sentence should be replaced with you gain the following dirty tricks. I think that's what they meant to say. Not you can use one of the following dirty tricks. So you got Heel Stomper. When you deal damage to a creature with an unarmed strike, which is most of your stuff, or a pugilist weapon like brass knuckles or something like that, the creature must succeed on a dex save. That's pretty good. Or its speed is reduced to 0 for 1 minute. That's huge. An affected creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. So that's huge. That's a long time. Low blow. When you do damage to a creature with an unarmed strike or a pugilist weapon, you can hit the creature below the belt. When you do so, the creature must succeed on a strength save. We don't like those. Or attacks against the creature have advantage until the end of your next turn. This is only one turn for something that we can only do once every short rest. And if this is the thing that we pick, and we can only do this, we only get it once, and this is the only one we get because of this stupid second sentence up here, that doesn't make any sense to me. So that's kind of why I say that you get all three of these. This is okay. It's a strength save. Odds are they're going to make that, and it's just not going to do anything. Pocket Sand. As a bonus action, again, here's another one of these things that's a bonus action. And because it's a bonus action, you've got other things that you might want to do with a bonus action. So as a bonus action, you tossed detritus. I don't know why they use that word. They just might as well say dirt into the eyes of a creature within 10 feet. The creature must succeed on a con save that is second to strength saves on the one that they're mostly going to make, or they have the blinding condition until the end of its next turn. Again, this because it's an end of turn makes me think that you can use all three of these. So basically, in my interpretation, you're going to get all three of these, but they're essentially going to be used like once per combat or once per hour. At level 11, you get Mean Old Cuss, which is kind of the same as the Salty Salute, except it's a kind of area of effect. So as a bonus action, you can choose a number of targets within 30 feet of yourself that you can see or hear up to your level. So that at this level, it's level 11. So it's 11 targets. Each chosen creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take psychic damage equal to your fisticuffs die plus your con modifier. Again, it's going to be around 10. And have a disadvantage on attack rolls made against creatures other than you until the start of your next turn. And if you do this, they're going to come after you. So just keep that in mind. You should have a high armor class. I really suggest if people take this subclass that they get Shield as a spell. So take Magic Initiate or something and get Shield as a spell. Once you use this feature, you have to finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. Or you can also restore it by expending 3 Moxie points. So you probably could use this twice per short rest. And finally, we get Dirtier Tricks. So you gain the following additional dirty tricks. That's what makes me think that this sentence here does not make sense to me. It just doesn't. So you get 2 of them. And you can use 1 dirty trick each turn. And once you use a dirty trick, you can't do it. You cannot use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike or a pugilist weapon, you strike its head. This is Rabbit Punch. Until the end of your next turn, the creature loses resistance to psychic damage. Who cares? Check with your group, see if there is a arcane caster that can do psychic damage, because your psychic damage is not great, and resistance is also very situational. So loses resistance to psychic damage if it has it, and disadvantage on saving throws. That's big. That's big. This is only a turn. You can only use it once, but again, work with the rest of your party on what would be most advantageous to use this, because that can really change combat, especially if you're using something like a Disintegrate with dirtier tricks. And finally, you get Sucker Punch. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike or a pugilist weapon, you can turn the hit into a critical hit. For this critical hit, you roll the attack's damage 3 times and add them together instead of twice as normal. So it's a triple crit. That's pretty nasty too. You get that once and then it's done. This is 17th level. So it is what it is. All right, what do I think about the Pugilist class, subclass, Piss and Vinegar? What grade would I give it? I'm going to give it a C. I don't like this sentence right here at all. I think that needs to be clearer, because if it is just one of these, then that is a massive, massive hampering. You don't get any of the good stuff until 17th level. A lot of it uses a bonus action, which you can be using to do other things, with the class itself that uses bonus actions. And you don't really get a whole lot at 3rd level. You really don't. So I don't see this as a great option. It is the Dog and Hound and the Hand of Dread are both definitely better than this one. And I'm sure the other 3, when we go through those, are going to be better than this one as well. So, all right, that is the video that I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.